Hare Krishna. Welcome to all for our weekly satsang program, Tuesday weekly satsang program. So, in the past many months and many weeks, we were discussing from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, starting from chapter 1. So, in the last couple of weeks, we discussed from chapter 10 about a brief summary of 10 types of creation. Whatever that has been mentioned in the previous chapters, starting from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that is all kind of summarized in the form of first five creations by Lord Vishnu, the creation of Mahatattva, then creation of Ahankara, creation of mind, creation of senses, and creation of Pancha Mahabhutas. Like the five creations are kind of summarized five levels. Sixth creation was that of the creation of Avidya. Five functions of Avidya, which are further known as Avidya, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, Abhinivesha. So these were mentioned at the sixth creation. Then 7, 8, 9, 10. The remaining four creations were said to be the creations of Lord Brahma. So in the seventh creation, Lord Brahma created six variety of plants, so which are immobile. And then in the eighth creation, Lord Brahma created 28 variety of animals, which includes aquatics, reptiles, um, um, birds, and mammals, and all the variety of animals. They are all kind of details are mentioned about that in those couple of verses. They are divided in the form of their physical appearance, like with their respect to their feet. Some animals have their feet divided into two parts, Dvishapa. Some animals have only one portion, one feet. In the sense, one portion in the feet, and some animals have five fingers and five nails, like that. All these different details are mentioned. And then some of them are water dwelling animals, some of them are insects, some of them are water dwelling birds, some of them are land dwelling birds, etc. etc. So then, at the ninth creation, Lord Brahma created all the human beings, and they have special qualities, Rajo Adhika, Karma Parayana, and Dukkecha Sukhamanina. So these are some special qualities of human beings. And at the 10th creation, Lord Brahma created 8 kinds of superhuman beings. Since among these 8 people, Devatas are prominent, Devatas are special, Devatas are main. It is called as 8 kinds of Devatas creation. So basically that includes the main Devatas, which are called as the 12 Adityas, 8 Vasus, 11 Rudras, 2 Ashwinis, 49 Marus, etc. etc. All those are part of Devatas. And then the second category was Asuras, who are Daityas and Danavas. The third category were Rakshasas and Yakshas. The fourth categories were Gandharvas and Apsaras. The fifth categories was Vidyadharas, Charanath, Vidyadharas, etc. And the eighth category was Kinnaras and Kimpurushas. And then finally Bhuta Preta Pichachas. Like that, the 8 categories of superhuman beings have been mentioned in this chapter. Like that, these 4 creations were manifested. So Maya has 3 potencies or 3 faculties or 3 subsections to perform various activities. The first one is called Pradhana, which is also called as Gunamaya. From Pradhana comes the 24 elements with which the entire universe, the entire universal form, and all our bodies are manifested. The second one is Avidya. By Avidya, all the different living entities will get their different identities. Like those living in the human body, they think they are human beings. Those living in the Devata body, they think they are Devatas. Those living in the animal bodies, they think they are animals. The concept of thinking oneself based on the identity of the body, it is due to the function of Avidya. So Avidya manifests in the form of 4 divisions, that of plants, that of animals, and that of human beings, and that of superhuman beings, all the variety of superhuman beings, the Devatas, Asuras, Rakshasas, Kinnaras, Kimpurushas, Vidyadharas, Charanas, and Gandharvas, Apsaras, and Siddhas and Sadhyas and Pitrus, and then Bhuta Preta Visheshas. Like that, 8 category people have been mentioned in the 4th category. So these are the 4 different kinds of identities. They are the results of avidya. But how to get rid of this misidentification and home back to Godhead? That is by taking shelter of Vidya. Vidya includes the performance of different sadhanas. Vidya has 6 sangas: Nishkama Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. Jnana Yoga also has an inherent function known as Tapasya. Ashtanga Yoga has an inherent function that is known as Vairagya. The 6th one is Bhakti Yoga. So like that, Nishkama Karma, Tapasya, Jnana, Vairagya, Ashtanga Yoga, and Bhakti. These are the 6 angas of Vidya. Anyone who ever takes shelter of these 6 angas, they can get relieved from the misidentification which is offered by avidya. That means the vidya can destroy avidya and a person can become qualified to attain transcendence. So the manifestation of vidya will be explained in the 12th chapter. So before explaining that, in order to respond the question asked by Vidura in the 10th chapter, in the beginning of the 10th chapter, I think in the verse number 10, Vidura asked that, please explain me about Kalakyam Lakshanam Brahman. So please explain about the qualities and characteristics of time. So therein he actually briefly mentioned about time in couple of verses, but now in one complete chapter, he elaborately talks about the time. What is time? How time is manifested in the visible world, in the visible material world. So the nature of time, the calculations of time from the smallest division to the biggest division, all these things are kind of presented in this 11th chapter. And then 12th chapter will be the continuation of the 10th chapter, wherein we will talk about Vidya. So with that background, so now we will discuss about the nature of time, the manifestation of time, and the measurement of time, as it is mentioned in this chapter, 11th chapter. The chapter titled as Calculation of Time from the Atom, or the description of time. First verse. Maitreya Uvacha Charamasadvisheshanam Aneko Samyuta Sada Paramanu Savijñeyo Nunam Aikyo Brahmoyata. So herein it says that Charama Sad Visheshanam Aneko Asamyuto Sada Paramanusa Vigneya Nunam. So here it says that Charama Sad Visheshanam. If the entire universe, if we understand that entire universe is made up of different set of molecules and atoms, etc., etc., some different parts and particles. So this Visheshanam is also one of the important thing to understand. There is a philosophical treatise called as Vaisheshika. The Kannada has proposed this philosophy. We have 6 systems of philosophy. Gautama had proposed Nyaya, and Kannada has proposed Vaisheshika, and there was another philosophy known as Mimamsa, and then Yoga. Patanjali has proposed Yoga, and Kapila had proposed Sankhya, and Vyasa has proposed Vedanta. So like that, various philosophers have proposed various philosophies. So among them, one is Vaisheshika philosophy. Vaisheshika philosophy divides the entire universe into smallest indivisible particles. They are called as Visheshana. So matlab smallest indivisible particle, which they call it as Paramanuvada, Anuvada, or atoms, the theory of atoms, etc., etc. So ultimately, everything that we observe in this material world, everything that we experience in this material world, it is nothing but a combination of atoms, combination of paramanus. It's like that. Charama Sad Visheshanam. The Charama Sad Visheshanam is any object that we take, the smallest divisible particle, that of course, the smallest indivisible particle to the extent what we can go by dividing it into multiple parts, divide it further, divide further, divide further. The charma means the ultimate end of division. It ends with Paramanu. And Paramanu is that particle or that molecule which cannot be further divided. That's why it is called as Charma Sad Visheshanam. Among all the particles that can be divided, subdivided, the ultimate end or it ends with Paramanu. So, Aneka Asamyuta Sada. So, this universe consists of many unlimited particles like that. By the combination of these indivisible small particles, whatever we see in the form of this computer, mobile, books, water bottle and water, and the entire building, the earth, everything are all nothing but the combination of these indivisible Paramanus. They are called as Paramanusa Vigneya. IQ Brahmo Yata. We cannot see them. These Paramanus are so small, we cannot see them. But IQ, when some of the Paramanus are they come together and they form a bigger molecule, a combined molecule. So those molecules can be seen through the lattice of window. In the summer season, if there is sunlight, good sunlight, the sunlight is passing through the window and you are sitting in a corner of the room. And if you observe into the window, under the sunlight, which are coming in the form of small tubes, you can see small dust particles are moving here and there. And those dust particles are called as Thrasarenus. So we think that they are the smallest particles that we can see. But actually, that can be further divided. That further division and which cannot be further divided is called as Paramanu. Such kind of many Paramanus come together becomes known as Trasarenu. In this chapter, we will come to know that two Paramanus combined together is called one Anu. Like that, three Anus are combined together, that is called one Trasarenu. And that Trasarenu will be seen by us in the sunlit window as a small dust particle which is flying here and there. The dust particle will never fall on the earth because it is so light, without much density, without much weight, it keeps moving here and there. So that is how this chapter Sukadeva Maitreya Muni starts with the smallest indivisible particles description. So one may have a doubt, why he is describing the smallest indivisible particle? He is supposed to talk about the time. So that will be revealed in the third or fourth verse. There we will understand why Maitreya is talking about the smallest indivisible particle. So which people cannot see, but they think that when see a dust particle in the lattice of window, oh, this is smallest particle, but that is not so. That is called Trasarenu, and 1/6 of that will be Paramanu, which cannot be seen by our naked eye. So that is what is mentioned here. So this is the smallest particle, Charma Sad Visheshanam. So what would be the biggest particle that we can think of in this material world? Sata eva padartasya swarupavasthitasya yat kaivalyam paramam mahan avishesho nirantara. So here it says that Sata eva padartasya swarupavasthitasya yat kaivalyam paramamahan. So like that, there are so many particles that are there in our universe. Charama Sad Visheshanam Aneko Asamyuta Sada. There are so many such kind of independent Paramanus are there within our universe. When we combine all the Paramanus into one substance, whatever we see in this material world, everything in the form of water, in the form of earth, in the form of buildings, in the form of vehicles, in the form of things like that, so many things, metals and etc., so many things. When we combine all of them without any distinction among them, Kaivalya means it is as good, it is like merging. When we merge everything that is there in the entire universe, as if it is time for annihilation. That is called Parama Mahan. Swarupa Avasthitasayat. along with all the swarupas, along with the forms of all the different variety of materials, when they all combine together, when they all become one, whatever it is going to be, the combined form of everything that is in the material world, that is called Parama Mahan, the great matter. Parama Mahan is the great matter, and Paramanu is the small matter. Parama Anu, Parama Mahan. Parama Anu is the small matter. Parama Mahan is the great matter, the greatest of all matters. And what is the nature of this matter? Avishesho. There are no attributes of this matter. There is nothing to describe about this, because all the things that have so many attributes, so many qualities, when they are all merged together, it becomes qualityless. We can't tell this is earth, this is water, or this is fire, or this is metal, like that we cannot tell. And nirantara, nir antara, there is no distinction from one place to other place. Everything becomes one, like that. So basically, the smallest indivisible particle is Paramanu. Whatever that we have in the entire universe, everything combined together, it is called Paramamahan. So these are the two extremes of the existence of substance in the material world. The smallest substance and the biggest substance, the entire universe. Paramanu and Paramamahan. So like that, two things have been mentioned. So why? What is the reason he is talking about Paramanu and Paramamahan? The reason is Evam Kalopi Anumita Sakshme Staule cha Sattama Samstana Bhuktya Bhagavan Avyakto Vyakta Bhuk Vibhu. Evam, similarly, just like matter can be divided into smallest of the smallest particle and biggest of the biggest matter. Matter has two states, the smallest particle and the biggest thing. Similarly, time also can be divided the smallest time to the biggest time. Saukshme, that is smallest time. Staulye, the biggest time. Sattama. My dear Vidura, just like matter can be categorized into smallest particle and the biggest substance, similarly the time can be divided into smallest measurable time and the biggest measurable time. In that way, Samstana Bhuktya Bhagavan Avyakto Vyakta Bhuk Vibhu. That Bhagavan who is Avyakta, that Bhagavan having manifested himself in the form of time, though it is invisible, though time is Avyakta, Vyakta Bhuk, it can be manifested by his acceptance, by his covering potency. Time has no form. Time is actually invisible. It is very subtle. But how do we understand the manifestation of time? The time manifestation can be understood that by Vyakta book, by eating up. The time is said to be eating up. As time eats up something, we can understand that time is eaten this much, time is eaten that much. So by the process of covering something, the nature of time can be understood. Samstana Bhuktya Bhagavan. So what time covers? Time covers all the various substances starting with Paramanu all the way up to Paramahan. So based on that, the nature of time is being described. So one simple understanding what it is, what do you mean by time covering things, time eating up things, Samstana Bhuktya or Vyakta Bhuk. So that is explained in the fourth verse. Sakala Paramanurvai Yo Bhunkte Paramanu Paramanutaam Sato Visheshabhug Yastu Sakala Paramo Mahan. It said that Sakala, that time, Paramanurvai Yo Bhunkte Paramanu Tam. It said that the time can be measured as Paramanu time. What is called Paramanu time? For the sun to cover the distance that is occupied by a Paramanu, whatever time sun takes, that is called Paramanu time. the time required for the sun to cover the distance of a paramanu. Basically, to cover paramanu, whatever times the sun needs, that is called paramanu time. Since paramanu is the smallest indivisible particles, yo boomte, for the sun to eat up this paramanu, for the sun to cover the size of paramanu, that will be the smallest time one can measure in this world. Because there is nothing smaller than paramanu, so there will be no further division of time than paramanu. So this is called paramanutam, means this is paramanu time. And then what would be the greatest time? The time required for the sun to cover Avishesha book, the entire Avishesha, the entire Parama the entire universe, starting from its creation to the time of annihilation. That time is called Parama time. Parama time is nothing but the time required for the sun to cover up the entire universe, starting from its creation to the time of its annihilation. That is equal to 100 years of lifetime of Brahma. 100 years of Brahma. That is the entire lifetime of Brahma. At the time of creation, Brahma is born. After Brahma's 100 years are over, there will be final annihilation. So this is the maximum time that we can conceive in this material world. Starting from the point of creation to the point of annihilation. There is nothing we can pursue after the annihilation. There is nothing that we can pursue before the creation. So this is the maximum time that can be measured in this material world. So in between there are so many divisions, intermediate divisions. The smallest division is Paramanu time. The biggest division will be Paramahanu time. So in between we have so many divisions. Like that for the particle, the smallest particle will be Paramanu, the biggest particle is Paramahan. In between we have 1 gram, 10 grams, 100 grams, 1000 grams, 10,000 grams, like that. So many other subdivisions are there. So Sato Avishesha book, for the sun, time required for the sun to eat up the entire universe. Sakalo Paramo Mahan. It is called Parama Mahan time. Parama Mahan Kala. Paramanu Kala and Parama Mahan Kala. So in order to describe the division of time, Maitreya Muni takes the reference of a matter. So with respect to the matter, the time has been measured and described. So Prabhupada calls it as atomic time. Atomic time is the time required for the sun to cover a Paramanu, and Paramahan time is the time required for the sun to cover the entire universe, starting from the creation to the annihilation. Now, so the subdivisions between these two, this is one smallest time and the biggest time. In between there are so many divisions, so many different milestones. So they are all being mentioned in the future verses. Anurdvau Paramanusya Trisarenustrayam Smruta Jalarkarashmi Avagata Kam Evanupatan Agat. So it is said that Anurdvau Paramanusyat. Dvau Paramanu is Anu. Where the combination of two Paramanus is called Anu. And Tratarenus Trayasmruta. The combination of three Anus is called Trasarenu. The combination of three Anus or the combination of six Paramanus is called one Trasarenu. Jalarka Rashmi Avagata Kam Evanupatam Agat. So through a lattice window, when Arka Rashmi, when the sun rays, Arka means sun, Arka Rashmi is the sun rays. As the sun rays are entering into our home through the lattice of the window, through the holes of the window, in that light tubes, we can actually see some dust particles are moving here and there in the ether. Come, Evanu Patan Agat. This Tratarenu can be seen by us in that light tubes coming into our home through the lattice window, which are flying in the ether. So this is what we can see, that is called Trasarenu, which is made up of 3 anus, and each anu is made up of 2 paramanus. So this is the interrelation between the particles. So based on this anu, paramanu, and Trasarenu, whatever time required for the sun to cover paramanu is called paramanu time. Whatever time sun requires to cover anu is called anu time. Whatever time sun required to cover Trasarenu, that is called Trusarenu time or Thruti. Thruti. It is also called as Thruti. That is being mentioned in the next verse, I think. Trasarenu trikambungte yekala sa Thruti smruta shatabagastu vedasyat taistribitu lavasmruta. So, sorry, here it is mentioned that the time it takes for the sun to pass over 3 Trasarenus is called a Thruti. Trasarenu trikam bungte yakala Thruti smruta. For the sun to cover 3 Trasarenus, that means 3 into 3, 9 anus, 9 atoms, or 9 to 18, 18 paramanus. The time required for the sun to cover 18 paramanus is called 1 Thruti. So in Telugu we have a phrase. It is generally mentioned in the newspapers. When there is an accident, if a person by good fortune, by some reason, by Lord's mercy or something, if the person kind of misses the accident, he kind of saves himself by saving him by moving aside from the vehicle side. He just escapes from an accident. That is written in the newspapers, in Telugu newspapers as Trutilo Tappina Pramadam. The accident missed by the time of a Truti. Truti is that much time within which a person's life and death can be decided. Something like that. So that's how Truti has been indicated here. And Surya Siddhanta tells that a Truti is the time that requires for a needle to pass through a lotus petal. Whatever time required for the needle to pass through the lotus petal, the needle sharp pin, the sharp tip, as it touches in the one side of the lotus petal, and for the tip to come out of the other side, whatever time it takes, that time is also called as Thruti. Or the time required for the sun to cover 3 Trasarenus is called 1 Thruti. So as like that, the time required for the sun to cover Paramanu is Paramanu time, to cover Anu is called Anu time, to cover Trasarenu is called Trasarenu time, but to cover 3 Trasarenus, that is called Thruti. And Shatabhagastu Vedasyat. So 100 Thrutis is equal to 1 Veda. Thais Tribistu Lavasmruta. 3 Vedas is equal to 1 Lava. So these are different, as you go upward, the different names of time divisions, which we may not use in our daily usage. We generally have familiar with minutes, seconds, and hours, etc. But these are the ancient traditional time measurements. So if you remember, Lava is also very famous in the Bhagavatam. Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha. Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoi. So that is also mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam that Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha is one of the famous thing, that even if we stay in the association of devotees for the time of Lava, so we are benefited by that time. So Bhagavatam first canto 18th chapter verse number 13, it says that Tulayama Lavanapi na swargam na punarbhavam Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya Martyanam ki mutasha. So Tulayama Lavanapi na swargam na punarbhavam. The time that a person associates with Bhagavad Sangi Sangasya, a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, even for the time of lava, the smallest particle, one of the small division. We see what exactly lava means, maybe in a couple of words later. So that is not comparable to the happiness of Swarga and the happiness of Kaivalya. Na Swargam, na Punarbhavam. So that is the greatness of association of Vaishnavas. That is called compared in the form of lava. I mean, in relation to lava. Even lava matra sadhusanga also can deliver one from the clutches of material world and take one back home back to Godhead. Nimesha Strilavognyeya Amnataste Trayakshana Kshanan Pancha Vidukashtam Laguta Dasha Panchacha. Nimesha Strilavogneya. 3 lava is equal to 1 nimisha. Nimisha is nothing but the time required for the eyelids to close or to open. Just to close our eyelids or to open our eyelids, whatever time it is required, that is called nimisha. Not minute, but the nimisha is this one. This nimisha word comes at the end of this chapter in relation to Karnadaksha Vishnu. Kindly remember that. Amnataste Trayakshana. The 3 nimishas is called 1 kshana. Kshana pancha vidu kastam. 5 kshanas is called 1 kasta. Laguta dasha pancha da. The 15 kastas is called 1 lagu. So like that, one after the other, so many names are mentioned. Even if you don't know, don't remember, don't worry. I will show you one table at the end little later. So that will give the comparative table of all those things. Laguni vai samamnata dasha panchacha nadika te dve muhurta prahara sadyama saptavanranam. Laguni vai samantata dasha pancha chanadika. 15 lagus is equal to 1 nadika. And then dve, 2 nadikas is equal to 1 muhurta. We generally know about muhurta. Generally, we consider muhurta to be 48 minutes. And in some places, a muhurta will be equal to 60 minutes also. Sometimes it is considered to be 60 minutes, sometimes it is 48 minutes. But in any way, in one muhurta, there are 2 nadikas. And then, Shad Yama Saptavan Ranam. In one day of human beings, there are 6 or 7 yamas. So that's how it is mentioned. So here it is verse number 8. It is yama can also be called as prahara. There is another name for yama that is called prahara. Or 6 or 7 nadikas is equal to 6 or 7 nadikas is equal to 1 yama. Or sad or saptavan ranam, that is 6 or 7 nadikas is equal to 1 prahara or 1 yama. So for human beings, in a day we have 8 praharas. Ashta Prahariya Leela. We describe, I mean, at least Vrindavan Goswami, they describe our Lord Krishna's pastimes in relation to Ashta Praharas. 1 prahara is basically equal to 3 hours. So in 3 hours, there are 6 yamas. That means 1 yama is equal to half an hour. So that's why if 1 yama, 1 nadika is equal to half an hour. If 1 nadika is half an hour, then 2 nadikas will be 1 muhurta. That is 1 muhurta will be 60 minutes. Like that, in this chapter, muhurta is considered to be 60 minutes. So then sometimes 7 yamas, 7 nadikas is equal to yama. So this is also mentioned in relation to, if we take 1 nadika is equal to 48 minutes, the 7 48s, it becomes somewhat close to 3 hours. In that way, that is also 1 yama. Even if you take nadika is equal to 30 minutes, it is said that if during the summer, the daytime will be longer. But in the daytime, there are only 3 yamas. There are 3 praharas. But the amount of time which is allocated for 1 prahara will be little more than 3 hours. And a normal day of 12 hours day and 12 hours night, there will be 6 yamas. Each yama will be 3 hours. But during summer, the daytime will be like 13 hours and night time will be 11 hours. The 13 hours has to be divided into 3 parts, and each part would be 3 hours 20 minutes, something like that. The night would be 11 hours night would be divided into 3 yamas, another 3 yamas. Each part will be to 2 hours 40 minutes. So it will be less. It will be opposite in the winter time. In the winter time, night will be more and daytime will be less. So that's why the 6 or 7 nadikas will make 1 yama. Like that it is mentioned. The 7 nadikas, that will be equal to 3.5 hours. So 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours will be 7 plus 3.5 hours. Or something like that. Ashtakali Alila. So there will be 4 yamas in a daytime. So 3, 3, 7, 7, 14. At a maximum 14 hours can be there in that way. Like that, some kind of understanding is there in this. So that's why sometimes 6 yamas, 6 nadikas will be 1 yama. Sometimes 7 nadikas will be 1 yama based on the amount of number of hours increasing or decreasing in a daytime. So this is.
Prabhuji, it's very confusing now.
Sorry.
It is very confusing now, Prabhuji.
So don't
If
worry.
you can
I'll repeat. I'll show you everything. I have something to show you. So what is that? If you don't remember, also no problem. Yeah, you are able to. So here is a brief summary of the entire chapter, wherein Paramanu is the ultimate indivisible particle of material manifestation. Paramahan is the unmanifest aggregate of all the atoms, the complete manifestation. When you combine all the atoms that are there in the entire universe, that is called Paramahan. The time required for the sun to pass through a Paramanu is called Paramanu time, that is called atomic time. The time required for the sun to cover the great Paramahan, that means from the creation to the annihilation, that is called greater time or Paramahanu time. So 2 Paramanus make 1 Anu, 3 Anus make 1 Trasarenu, which is pursued by the eye, since it follows the air current in the rays of the sun entering through a lattice window. So then the time required for the sun to pass through Paramanu is called Paramanu time. To pass through Anu is called Anu time. To pass through a Trasarenu is called Trasarenu time. So 1 Truti is the time it takes for the sun to pass over 3 Trasarenus, that is 3 exatoms. That is 1 Truti. So 1 Truti in relation to our observable and measurable time, it is equal to 8 by 13,500 seconds. 8 by 13,500 seconds is equal to 1 by 1687.5 seconds. It is like very is much lesser than millisecond. So in that way. So 1 Veda is equal to 100 Trutis, that is equal to 8 by 135 seconds. 1 Lava is equal to 3 Vedas, that is equal to 8 by 45 seconds. And 1 Nimisha is equal to 3 Lavas, that is equal to 8 by 15 seconds. So this is the amount of time that we need for the eyelid to close or open. That is 8 by 15 is almost equal to half second. We need half second time to close our eyelids or open eyelids. Or the lava, the amount of time that we can we should associate at least with a sadhu is 8 by 45. That is like almost a 1 by 5. That is 0.2 seconds. This is equal to 0.2 seconds. That is the smallest time. And Truti is 0.6 milliseconds, something like that. The very smallest time Truti. Within a Truti, a person's life can be saved by escaping oneself from the accident. It's like that. And then 1 Kshana is equal to 3 Nimishas, that is 8 by 5 seconds. That is like almost 1.6 seconds. And 1 Kasta is equal to 5 Kshanas, that is equal to 8 seconds. And 1 Logu is equal to 15 Kastas, that is equal to 120 seconds or 2 minutes. And 1 Nadika or 1 Danda, that is also called as 1 Danda, that is equal to 15 Lagus. 15 times 2 minutes, that is 30 minutes. So 1 Danda is equal to 30 minutes. And 1 Muhurta is 2 Dandas, that is 60 minutes or 1 hour. Generally, we say that 1 Muhurta is equal to 48 minutes, but here there is some kind of adjustment. These are not, sometimes the time measurements can vary a little bit here and there. 48 minutes to 60 minutes, it is okay, adjustable. And 1 Prahara, which is 1/4 of the day or 1/4 of the night, that is equal to 6 or 7 Dandas. If 1 Danda or 1 Nadika is equal to 30 minutes, then 1 prahara is equal to 6 times 30 minutes, that will be 3 hours. And if it is 7 dandas, that will be equal to 3.5 hours. Why this 7 dandas is mentioned here? The acharyas explain that during summer, in the month of May, June, the day starts at 5 a.m. The day is there till 7 p.m. The whole day will be 14 hours. Morning 5 a.m. to evening 7 p.m. is called daytime. Evening 7 to morning 5 is called night time. But out of Ashta Prahariya Leela, there are 4 praharas during the daytime and 4 praharas during the night time. The entire day, which is 14 hours, has to be divided into 4 praharas. So each prahara would be 3.5 hours. So in order to accommodate the 3.5 hours, so Bhagavatam gives a adjustable measurement, that is 1 prahara is equal to 6 dandas or 7 dandas or 6 nadikas or 7 nadikas. On a normal day of 12 hours, the 6 nadikas is sufficient. On a big day and during the summer, it can go as to the extent of 7 dandas or 7 nadikas. So that is being indicated here. And 1 yama is equal to 1 day or night, that is equal to 4 praharas, that is 12 hours. The daytime is equal to 12 hours, that is 4 praharas, and the night time is also equal to 4 praharas, that is another 12 hours. So this is being indicated in this verse. Again, we'll come back to the same table after going through couple of verses. So it is like that. So these timings are as per human calculation. These are applicable for us. Meaning the Devata's way of calculating timing will be different, but according to our way of seeing things, it is mentioned. Yama is 1/4 of the day or night, or that is equal to 1 prahara. 1 prahara is equal to 6 or 7 nadikas, or 6 or 7 dandas, or 6 or 7 half hours. So in that way. So now there is a traditional measurement of measuring danda. Okay, so many things are being mentioned. Paramanu we don't know, and Truti also we can't. We can see barely, but we don't know what it is exactly. So how do we exactly measure the time? So there is a traditional method which is mentioned in this particular verse. It says that Dvadasharda Palonmanam Dvadasharda Palonmanam Chatubis Chaturanguli Swarnamashai Krita Chidram Yavat Prastajala Plutam. So here they are talking about the manufacturing of a measuring instrument for measuring the time known as danda, or for measuring what is mentioned here in this verse as nadika, either nadika or danda, in order to measure that what is the procedure. Dvadasharda palon manam. The manam, the measurement procedure is the measurement procedure for one nadika or one danda. It is the measuring part. It is actually a manam means a instrument with which time can be measured. That instrument is supposed to be made by Dvadasharda pala. Pala, it is a kind of weight. The 6 palas weight. This is prepared by a part made up of copper, whose weight is 6 palas. So what do you mean by pala? 1 pala is equal to 64 masas. 64 masas is called 1 pala, or there are 10 masas which is equal to 1 tula of gold. Generally in the gold measurement is in terms of tulas or in masas. So 1 tula gold is equal to 10 grams, which is also called as 10 masas. So if you go further, what do you mean by masa? 1 masa is equal to 5 gunjas. 5 gunjas are Lord Krishna wears gunjamala. Generally it is said that whenever Ganesh Murti is made up of mud, the eyes are made by the gunja leaves. The gunja leaves are very small leaves. The gunja grains, the gunja seeds are very small seeds, which are reddish in color. On one side there is a black dot. They actually appear to be like the eye. Whenever the small uh, uh, teddy bears or such kind of small play dolls are made, their eyes are made with gunja seeds. So the weight of 5 gunja seeds is called 1 masa, which is 1 gram, and 10 masas equal to 1 pala or 1 tula. And like that, here it is 64 masas make 1 pala. That means 1 pala is equal to 64 grams. So the copper part should be made with 6 pala weight. The 6 pala is equal to 6 times 64 grams. That is almost equal to 384 grams. So almost take 400 grams of copper part. A copper part made up of 384 grams. And then Chaturbir Chan Chatur Chaturbis Chatur Angilai. Chaturbis refers to the 4 masas. Swarna. Chaturbir Masai Swarna. Chaturbis Anglai. A needle supposed to be made by the 4 grams of gold, and it should be made into a small needle whose length will be 4 inches. Chatur Angula. Its length should be made into 4 inches. So take 384 grams of copper part, and at the base of that copper part make a hole with a rod made up of 4 grams of gold, and that rod length should be 4 inches. Swarna Masai Krita Chidram, make a hole. Yavat Prastha Jalaplutam. And after making that hole, the small hole, and place that part into the water. And whatever time that part takes to completely dip in the water, to completely fill itself and fill in the water, that is the time is equal to 1 nadika or 1 danda or half hour. So in Jaipur, in the previous days, they used to use this one. So there is a big pot within which there are water, on top of which the small part is kept. So the time it takes to completely fill and go into the water, that is half an hour. Again, they will take out the part, they empty it, again put it on the top of the water. So like that, the nadika after nadika will be measured and understood. And they might intimate as soon as it falls into the water, they will hit on the bell and put it back on the surface. So this is how it is being used, and it is being observed in the previous days. So there is a small video here, and kindly see how that part is being used.
During ancient times, some people used sundial to track time, while others used water clock. Indians called this water clock Ghatika. To calculate time, empty container with a hole was placed inside a large container filled with water. When empty container with a hole was filled, it used to mark the passing of certain time. I tried this mechanism with aluminium bowl. Small hole was drilled and bowl is placed in water. It takes more than a minute to fill it.
Herein he has taken a aluminum bowl, and he has made a big hole with a drill bit. So because of that, the part is immersed in the water within a minute or so. But as per what is mentioned in this verse, we need to take a copper pot, which is of weight of 384 grams, and then we need to take a the needle, which is made up of gold, because gold is highly dense material. and it is just 4 grams. It will be very small, and it should be extended to 4 inches in height. Then the hole will be very small. So if the hole is very small and the copper pot weight is more, gradually the water will come in, and dire dire it would take half an hour completely. So in that way, that part is supposed to be made. There is another small video here about the same.
Water clock consists of a vessel filled with water and an empty trough with an hole. When the trough is placed on the water surface, it sinks. It will take almost same amount of time to sink, and this was the reference to measuring time. Sundial consists of a circular plate with markings and a pole. It should be kept outside such that the sunlight falls directly on it. The shadow of the pole falling on the marking gives the time of the day. These are some of the devices used in different parts of the world before the pendulum clocks became popular.
So these are different ways of measuring time, but this Gatika, that is also called Gatika Yantra, or it is also called water clock. So that is being used in order to measure one Nadika or one Danda, which is half an hour. So like that, doing it again and again, they would understand what time is going now when there were no wall clocks, etc., HMT watches and all. So this was the time, this was the procedure being used in the previous, we would say previous century, and maybe couple, yeah, previous centuries. So this is how the time being measured. यामश्चत्वारश्चत्वारो मर्त्यानाम् अहनिवुभे पक्षपञ्चादशै दशाहानि शुक्लकृष्णस्य मानदा. Then it is further mentioned as for the human beings, these are calculations are for human beings. Martyanam ahani ube. Ahani means ahoratri. Ahani means the day. It is like it is mentioned that there are 4 yamas in the day and 4 yamas in the night. Ahani ube, the both parts of the day. Ahani actually refers to daytime, and ube includes the night also. The day has 4 yamas and the night has another 4 yamas. So like that, in a day we have 8 yamas or 8 praharas. Ashta prahari lila. Daytime 4 praharas and nighttime 4 praharas. These are the day and night for the human beings. And then paksha pansha dasha dasha nani. So 15 complete days is equal to 1 paksha. And we have Shukla paksha and Krishna paksha. Shukla means white. That is the paksha during which the moon becomes bright, Amavasya to Paurnami. And Krishna means dark. That paksha, that fortnight during which the moon becomes dark, from full moon day to new moon day. So these are 2 pakshas which are there in 1 month, in 1 lunar month. So 15 days is called Shukla paksha, 15 days is called Krishna paksha, bright fortnight and dark fortnight. So for human beings, 4 yamas is daytime, 4 yamas is nighttime. And 15 days is Krishna paksha, 15 days is Shukla paksha. So now, Tayo samuchayo masa pitrunam tad aharnisham dvau tau rutu sad ayanam dashaika dakshinam chotaram divi. So it said that Tayo samuchayo masa, the combination of both pakshas, Krishna paksha and Shukla paksha, is called 1 masa or 1 month. Pitrunam tad aharnisham. But for Pitrus, for those Pitrus who are living in the moon planet, the Shukla paksha will be their daytime, and Krishna paksha will be daytime, and Shukla paksha will be their nighttime, or either way. But for those Pitrus who are living in the moon planet, their day will be our 15 days, and their night will be our another 15 days. So our day and night are mentioned in the form of 4 yamas, 4 yamas. And the night, day and night for the Pitrus who are living on the moon planet is our 15 days and our 15 days. They have daytime for our 15 days, they have night time for our 15 days. Pitrunam tad aharnisham, their day and night. Ahar means daytime, nisha means night time. Dvau tau rutu, and two of such months is called one rutu. Thus we have 6 rutus, sad ayanam. We have 6 rutus in 1 year, and two of such months is called one rutu, and 6 of such months are called as one ayanam. Sad refers to 6. 6 of such masas is called as one ayanam. So we have Dakshinayanam and Uttarayanam. So 6 of our months is called Dakshinayana, another 6 of our months is called Uttarayana. So like that, gradually building it up. So our day is equal to 4 praharas, night is equal to 4 praharas, and both combined together is called one day, and such kind of 15 days is called one paksha, and there are Krishna paksha and Shukla paksha, and both combined together is called 1 month, and both of them are day and night for the Pitrus, and 2 of that such months is called one Rutu, 6 of such months is called one Ayanam. There are 2 Ayanas in 1 year. They are called Dakshinayana and Uttarayana. And for Divi, for Swarga, one Ayanam is their daytime and another Ayanam is their night time. They have 6 months of daytime, 6 months of our time scale is their day, another 6 months of our time scale is their night. Our one complete year is equal to one complete day in the Swargaloka. Our one complete month is equal to one complete day in the Pitruloka or in Chandramandala. So that is how the relative time scales have been indicated. Four praharas is equal to 12 hours, and one fortnight is equal to 15 days and plus 15 nights. That is half month. We have Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha, and 1 month is equal to 2 fortnights, white and black. White fortnight, that is Shukla Paksha, and black fortnight, that is Krishna Paksha. That is equal to 1 day and 1 night for Pitta planets, that is for moon planet. And we have 2 months in 1 season, and 1 movement of sun from south to north or north to south is called 6 months or 1 ayana. So 1 ayana is 1 day or 1 night of the devatas. 1 calendar is equal to solar movements, the Uttarayana Dakshinayana, that is 1 day and time and night time of the devatas. So that is being indicated here. And duration of human life in relation to this number of years is equal to 100 years. Especially for us, the people of Kali Yuga, our lifespan is equal to 100 years or 100 days of devatas. Because our 1 year is equal to 1 day of devatas, thus their 100 days is equal to our 100 years or our entire lifespan. So that's how it is indicated. Ayane chahane prahur vastaro dvadasha smruta samvatsara shatam runam paramayur nirupitam. So ayane chahane prahur. One ayana is called ahani, daytime for the devatas, and second ahani is called second ayana will be night time for the devatas. Vasaro dvadasha smruta, and 12 such months is called 1 year. 6 months is called ayana, and 12 months is called samvatsara. Samvatsara shatam runam paramayur. The complete ayu, the complete lifespan of human beings is equal to samvatsara shatam, 100 years. That is our lifespan. 100 years will be our lifespan. So like that, it is being mentioned. Like the smallest time, that is equal to Paramanu time, and smallest measurable time, that is equal to 1 Truti. So from there, it has come all the way up to 100 years of lifespan. So for a person who will be living in this material world, that person can measure maximum 100 years only. That means he can personally experience the time span at most to the extent of 100 years. Maybe some fortunate souls might live more than 100 years also. But if at all, as per the allocated time, one can actually measure or observe or go through or experience for 100 years of time span. Of course, we can tell that so many years, number we can tell, but a person oneself can experience only maximum 100 years. So that is being indicated. So what are the different ways of calculating time and how these measurements have been indicated in our day-to-day life? That is being mentioned in the couple of verses later on. Graharsha Tara Chakrasta Paramanu Adina Jagat Samvasaravasheshe Samvasaravasana Pariyeti Animisho Vibhu. Graha refers to the 9 planets. We have 9 grahas: Surya Graha, Chandra Graha, Buddha Graha, Guru Graha, Shukra Graha, Shani Graha. Of course, according to the number of 7 days, Ravi Graha, Soma Graha, Mangala Graha, Buddha Graha, Guru Graha, Shukra Graha, Shani Graha, Rahu and Ketu. 9 grahas. And Riksha. Riksha refers to the 27 nakshatras: Ashwani, Bharani, Kritika, Rohini, etc. etc. And 12 zodiac signs: Mesha, Rishabha, Miduna, Karaka, Simha, Tula, like that. All these are combined together are called Riksha in Sanskrit, are constellations. We have 12 zodiac signs or 12 Rashis and 27 nakshatras. They all of them combined together are called Rikshas. And Tara. Tara refers to all other stars, whatever that we see in the night, except grahas and except constellations, the remaining stars are all called as Taras or Tarakas. Chakrastam. All these are situated as time wheel. The grahas, Rakshas and Taras, they all revolve around with the time wheel. Here Chakrasta refers to, actually Chakrasta refers to 12 zodiac signs. Graha is 9 planets, Raksha is 27 nakshatras, Tara is all other stars, Chakra refers to the zodiac wheel or the time wheel made up of 12 zodiac signs or 12 Rashis. Paramanu Adina Jagat. So starting from Paramanu time all the way up to Paramayur Runam. Paramayur Runam is 100 years or at least for 1 year. They are all calculated based on the help of this, the movement of all these things. Samvatsarava Sheshena Pariyeti Animisho Vibhu. Pariyeti Animisho Vibhu. Vibhu is referring to the sun god, who is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is actually called as Shakti Avesha, avatar of the Supreme Lord. That the sun god actually manifesting himself into the form of the Supreme Lord manifesting as sun causes all these manifestation of different times, past, present, and future in the form of all these divisions. The sun, who is actually a portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is called as Animisha. Another name of sun is Animisha. So, like his movements cannot be in the sense, Animisha without tirelessly keeps on moving. So that kind of understanding is given. The sun, being situated himself upon the Kala Chakra, constantly moves around and causes the passage of time. He causes the time to manifest in the form of Paramanu time all the way up to Paramayur time, 100 years of lifespan. So the time measurements are generally done in relation to all these things, in relation to grahas, in relation to constellations, in relation to tarakas, or in relation to Kala Chakra. The time calculations are made. So there are 5 kinds of time calculations with respect to a year. The 5 kinds of year measurement is there, that is being mentioned in the next verse. Samvatsara parivastara, samvatsara parivastara, idavastara evacha, anuvastaro vastarascha, viduraivam prabhashyate. So there are 5 different ways of calculating a year. Samvatsara is for the sun to cover the entire zodiac, for the sun to travel through the 12 zodiac signs, 12 Rashis. That is called 1 year. That is equal to 365.25 days. That is what we are familiar with. 1 year is equal to 365.25 days. That is called in Sanskrit as Samvatsara. And Parivastara, just like sun takes 12 years or the 365 days to cover the entire zodiac, similarly, the Jupiter will take approximately 12 years. That is equal to, it is said that 11.87 years to cover the 12 zodiac signs. So Parivastara is equal to 12 years. Samvatsara is 1 year. Parivastara is equal to 12 times 360 days basically. Parivastara is nothing but 12 times 360 days. That is called Parivastara. The time required for the Jupiter to go through 12 Rashis. And Idavastara is the time required for the moon to pass through the 12 zodiac signs for 12 times. Actually, moon cover the 12 zodiac signs within 27.3 days only. If he moves very fast, so he covers all the 12 zodiac signs within 27.3 days. But 12 times, it will be 27.3 into 12. That will be equal to 327.6 days. So Idavastara is equal to 327.6 days. And Anuvastara is equal to the time required for the 27 constellations to cover the zodiac wheel completely. Since they don't have any separate measurement, separate movement from the time wheel, so the Anuvastara is equal to 324 days, which is equal to 12 times 27. The 27, there are 27 nakshatras and they are covering 12 zodiac signs. For the 27 nakshatras to cover 12 zodiac signs, it is equal to 12 times 27. That is equal to 324 days. Generally, it is mentioned that the moon spends one day with one nakshatra. There are 27 nakshatras. They are actually occupied by the 27 daughters of Daksha. Daksha had 60 daughters. Out of 60, he had given 27 daughters in marriage to moon god. And these 27 daughters are there in the 27 palaces, which are nothing but 27 nakshatras. And moon spends one day with one wife. So like that, the time required for the moon to cover 27 nakshatras and for the 27 nakshatras to cover the 12 zodiac signs, that is equal to 27 days into 12 zodiac signs. That will be 324 days. That is equal to Anuvastara. And Vastara, it is the time required for all the other nakshatras to cover the zodiac wheel. That is equal to 360 days. Samvatsara is 365.25 days. Parivastara is 11.87 years. Idavastara is 27.3 days into 12 times. That is 327.6 days. And Anuvastara is 27 nakshatras into 12 rashis. That is equal to 27 into 12, 324 days. And Vastara is 12 months and each month of 30 days. That is equal to 360 days in a year. So these are the different way of calculating years, and different calculations are used for different things. We are generally familiar with Sauramana and Chandramana. So according to Sauramana, in a year we have 365.25 days, and according to Chandramana, that is Idavastara. So for the moon to cover the zodiac wheel, it takes 27.3 days, and for the moon to go from one Amavasya to another Amavasya, it takes 29.6 days. So over a period of 12 months, the moon takes 355 days. So that is a general Kalamana according to moon. That is called Chandramana. So for the moon to complete 1 year, it needs 355 days. For the sun to complete 1 year, it takes 365 days, 365.25 days. So there is a difference of 10.25 days, something like that. So over a period of 3 years, 10 days, 10 days, 10 days, we add together. In order to compensate that excess days, there will be Adhikamas. There will be additional month. So that additional month comes over a period of every 3 years, because the difference between the solar year to lunar year. So since lunar year is equal to 355 days, solar year is equal to 365 days. The 10 days we add for 3 years, 10 plus 10 plus 10, that will be 1 Adhikamas, which is placed in once in every 3 years. So these two are very familiar for our Panchanga calculations, for our astrological chart calculation, and etc. predictions, etc. And Parivastara, which is in relation to Jupiter, Anuvastara, which is in relation to 27 nakshatras, and Vastara, which is in relation to other stars, other tarakas. They are not so much familiar in our calculations. So like this. So these are different ways of coming to the measurement of time based on the sun's movement through the 12 zodiac signs or 12 rashis. So here Prabhupada gives the complete measurements. 1 Truti is equal to 8 by 13,500 second. 1 Veda is 8 by 135 second. 1 Lava is 8 by 45 second. 1 Nimisha is 8 by 15 second. 1 Kshana is 8 by 5 second. 1 Kashta is 8 seconds. 1 Lagu is 2 minutes. 1 Danda is 30 minutes. 1 Prahara is 3 hours. 1 day is equal to 12 hours. 1 night is also 12 hours. 1 Paksha is 15 days. And 1 month, 1 Masa is 30 days. 1 Rutu is 2 months. 1 Ayana is 6 months. 1 Samvatsara is 12 months. And 1 lifetime is equal to 100 years. So these are the set of calculations were mentioned till now. So here it said that Prabhupada quoting from Brahma Samhita 5.52, it said that Echakshuresha Savita Sakala Grahanam Raja Samasa Suramurti Dasesheda Estagneya Brahmati Sambrta Kala Chakro Govida Madhipurushan Tamaham Bajami. By the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sun travels on the Kala Chakra, taking along with him all the grahas, nakshatras, etc. Because sun is the Raja of all the luminaries that are moving in the outer sky. So taking sun as a reference, the Kalaman has been decided. So that sun, who is actually an Amsha of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Animsho Vibhu, is being worshipped in the next verse. Offering Sandhya at 3 times, offering Arga at 3 times at 3 Sandhyas, morning, afternoon, and evening, the sun is worshipped by chanting the Gayatri Mantra. So that is being mentioned in this verse. Yasrujya Shaktim, Urudocha Vashayam, Swashaktya, Pumsho Brahmaya Dividavati Bhuta Bheda Kalakyaya Gunamayam Kratubirvitanvam Tasmai Balim Harata Vastara Panchakaya. The sun who is worshipped with 5 years, as it is mentioned in the previous verse, Samvatsara, Parivastara, Idavastara, Anuvastara, Vastara, the time measurement which is measured in 5 different manas, the sun is called as this 5 Panchakaya, Vastara, 5 kinds of years. The sun's movements can be calculated in terms of 5 kinds of years, and that sun who had the potency to manifest, to germinate all the plants, all the grains into plants, plants into vegetables, vegetables into fruits into again grains, and again new plants, like that. All these things can be possible by sun, by his own potency, and that sun can enable us to perform various activities throughout the year. Gunamayam Kratubir Vitanvam, and that sun is supposed to be worshipped by performing various yajnas. Kratubir Vitanvams Tasmai Balim Harata, by offering various oblations. The sun should be worshipped, offering various oblations either in yajna or in argya, morning and afternoon and evening, offering water of a river back to sun. So in that way, the sun who is an expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, should be worshipped by the performance of yajna or by the performance of argya, offering argya, because sun had the potency to germinate all the grains into plants and vegetables and fruits and flowers, and the same sun had the potency to enable us to perform various activities in this world, to nourish ourselves and to perfect our lives. So that is the greatness of sun. So at this point of time, when Maitreya Muni explained about the time divisions all the way up to the lifespan of human beings, so Vidura wanted to hear about the time divisions for the people who are above the lifespan of the human, about the devatas and about the great rishis, great sages who are living in the upper planets, their time scales Vidura wanted to hear. Vidura uvacha Pitrudeva Manushanam Ayur Paramidam Smrutam Paresham Gatim Achakshva Yesyu Kalpad Bahirvida. So herein our Vidura is asking that Pitrudeva Manushanam Ayur Param Idam Smrutam. We have spoke about the Pitrus day and night, Devatas day and night, and human beings day and night, and all the way up to Ayu Param Idam, the human beings Ayu, whatever the lifespan of human beings, that is 100 years, that much time division you have spoken about. Now I want to hear about Paresham Gatim Chakshwa Yesu Kalpad Bahir Vidu. I want to hear about the lifespan of the people who are living in the upper planets and those people who live kalpad bahir vida, those who live those who live more than the time period of kalpa, those who live more than the day of Brahma. Kalpa refers to one complete day of Brahma. Those people whose lifespan is more than a day of Brahma, about them I want to understand. You spoke about lifespan of human beings of 100 years, but I want to know about that lifespan of other superhuman beings, Devatas, Rishis, and especially those who are living more than a day of Brahma. Bhagavan Veda Kalasya Gatim Bhagavato Nanu Vishwam Vichakshata Adhira Yoga Radena Chakshusha. Yoga Radhena. So by the potency which you have received by the performance of yoga, you actually could understand about their lifespan. As you have mentioned in the previous verse, that a human being can only understand up to the lifespan of a human being, that is 100 years. But by the performance of yoga, you can understand. You are a great personality. You can actually understand the entire lifespan of all the great personalities who are living in the upper planets. So please talk about their lifespans, the time in relation to their lifespans. Yoga Radhena Chakshusha. The person Dhira Yoga, the great personalities like you can see them by the potency of yoga. Maitreya Uvacha Kritam Tretam Dvaparam Cha Kalischeti Chaturayugam Divyair Dvadashadbir Varsham Divyair Dvadashadbir Varshai Savadanam Nirupitam. So my dear Vidura, kindly listen that there is the higher time divisions are called as in the form of Krita, Treta, Dwapara, Kali. The upper time divisions are generally divided in the form of Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And four of them are combined together is equal to, according to Devatas, Divyair, Dvashatadbir, Varshair. So, Dva Dashadbir. Dvadasha refers to 12. Varshay refers to 1000 years. 12,000 Devata years is equal to the combination of Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. The time required to pass through Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga is equal to 12,000 Devata years. In terms of Devata years, it is equal to 12,000 Devata years. But one Devata's day is equal to our one complete year. So one Devata year is equal to 360 human years. And 12,000 Devata years is equal to 12,000 Devata years into 360 human years. That will be equal to 43,20,000 human years. That is the total Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga combined together. So that is being indicated here. So 43,20,000 years is equal to one Chatur Yuga, one Divya Yuga, combination of Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. So that is indicated in this verse. Divyer Dwadashadbir Varshair. So 12,000 Devata years is equal to one Chatur Yuga. That is equal to 43,20,000 human years, or 4.32 million human years. So higher calculations are called in the form of Chatur Yugas. And in one Chatur Yuga, we have 4 yugas: Satya, Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Chatvari Trini Dvechekam Kritadishu Yatakramam Sankyatani Sahasrani Dvigunani Shatani Cha. So, but how do we understand? Of course, one Chatur Yuga is equal to 43,20,000 human years or 12,000 Devata years. But how the divisions of Treta Yuga, Krita Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga are divided? That is Chatvari. So 4 times is Treta Yuga. Sorry, 4 times is Kruta Yuga, 3 times is Treta Yuga, 2 times is Dwapara Yuga, 1 time is Kali Yuga. So when we divide the entire 12,000 Devata years into this many divisions, 4 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1, that is equal to 10. When we divide that into 10 divisions, that will be equal to 1200 Devata years. So Kali Yuga will be 1200 Devata years, Dwapara Yuga will be 2400 Devata years, Treta Yuga will be equal to 3600 Devata years, and Satya Yuga or Kruta Yuga is equal to 4800 Devata years. So 4800 plus 3600 plus 2400 plus 1200, all put together 12,000 or 120 Devata years. That will be one Chaturyuga. That is being mentioned. Sankyatani Sahasrani Dvigunani Shatani cha. So that is total equal to Shata. Shata means 6. Dvigunani 2 times 6, that is 12. Sahasrani 12 Sahasrani. So 12,000 Devata years. When we divide that into 4, 3, 2, 1, that will be equal to 1 Treta Yuga, 1 Dwapara Yuga, 1 Satya Yuga, 1 Treta Yuga, 1 Dwapara Yuga, and 1 Kali Yuga. So that is how it is being indicated. So this is Satya Yuga, this is Treta Yuga, this is Dwapara Yuga, and this is Kali Yuga. So in total, all 4 put together, what will be the total time? Shatani Dvigunani, 2 times Shata, 2 times 6, 12, Sahasrani, 12,000 Devata years is equal to 1 Chaturyuga. Out of the 12,000 Devata years, 4,800 will be Satya Yuga, 3,600 will be Treta Yuga, 2,400 will be Dwapara Yuga, 1,200 will be Kali Yuga. So when we multiply those numbers into 360, we will get the number of years in human years. Kali Yuga will be 4,32,000. Dwapara Yuga will be twice, Treta Yuga will be thrice, Satya Yuga will be 4 times to that. So that is being mentioned here. So is there anything about that in that? So here it is mentioned. The duration of human life is 100 years, 100 days of Devatas. One Divya Yuga is equal to Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, all 4 put together, which is equal to 12,000 Devata years. That is 4.32 million human years. So the further divisions are not mentioned. Fine. If further goes, Sandhya Sandamshor Antar Yakkala Shata Sankhayo Tameva Horyugam Tagna Yatra Dharmo Vidhiyate. Sandhya Sandamsha Antar Yakkala Shata Sankhayo Tam Evahur Yugam Tagna. So, one yuga is divided into 3 parts. The first part is called Sandhya, the intermediate part is called Yuga, the respective Yuga, and the end part is called Sandhyamsha. So, how they are divided? For example, 1200, Kali Yuga is equal to 1200 Devata years. Out of 1200 Devata years, the first 100 Devata years is called Sandhya portion, the morning Sandhya. The in between 1000 Devata years is called Kali Yuga, the main Kali Yuga. The end portion of another 100 years, that is called Sandhyamsha. So in the beginning 100 years is Sandhya, starting morning Sandhya. In the middle 1000 Devata years is called actual Yuga, and at the end, the last 100 years, that is called Sandhyamsha. For Dwapara Yuga, in the beginning 200 is called Sandhya, in the middle 2000 is called Dwapara Yuga, in the end, last 200 Devata years is called Sandhyamsha for Dwapara Yuga. That like evening Sandhya. And for Treta Yuga, morning 300 is called Sandhya, evening 300 is called Sandhyamsha, in between 3000 is called Yuga. For Satya Yuga, the morning 400 is called Sandhya, evening 400 is called Sandhyamsha, in between 4000 is called the main Yuga. So that's how it is mentioned. Tam evahur yugam tagna. The in between time is called yuga. Yatra dharma vidyate. And during every yuga, there is special dharma becomes special. A special dharma becomes a yuga dharma, which is supposed to be practiced, which is actually starts in the beginning sandhya, and it will be practiced throughout the yuga. And during the sandhyamsha, the things start changing to the next yuga. So that is how it is being mentioned. So that's how the upper time scales are divided in the form of Chaturyugas. One Chaturyuga has 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapara, Kali, and the total time will be 12,000 Devata years. And one Kali Yuga will be 1200, Treta, Dwapara Yuga for 2400, Treta Yuga 3600, and Satya Yuga 4800. And every yuga is divided into 3 parts, and they are called Sandhya, the morning Sandhya, and in the intermediate portion is Yuga, Yuga Kala, morning is Sandhya Kala, the middle portion is Yuga Kala, and at the end portion is called Sandhyamsha Kala. So like that, one Yuga will be divided into 3 parts: morning Sandhya, evening Sandhya, intermediate Yuga. So I think we'll stop here, and the next week we'll continue the remaining verses. Remaining 20 verses are there in the chapter. So herein basically talks about the Maitreya Muni, in order to explain the time divisions. First he describes the matter. The indivisible smallest particle is called Paramanu. The aggregate of all the particles is called Paramahan. The time required for sun to cover the smallest particle Paramanu is called Paramanu time, atomic time, or the time required for the sun to cover the Paramahan, the aggregate of all the matter, that is from the time of creation to the time of annihilation, that is called Paramahan time. So there are so many in between divisions. So all those divisions have been indicated in our table. So these are like 2 Paramanus combined together is called 1 Anu, 3 Anus combined together is called 1 Trisarenu, and 3 Trasarenu can be seen through the lattice of window, and 3 Trasarenus combined together is called 1 particle, and time required for the sun to cover that particle is called 1 Truti. That 1 Truti is equal to 1 by 8 by 13,500 seconds. That is 1 by 1687.5 seconds. And like that, as you continue, Truti, Veda, Lava, Nimisha, Kshana. Nimisha is the time required for the eyelid to close and open, and Kshana, Lagu, Danda, etc. 1 Danda is half an hour, and Murta is 60 minutes. In a day, we have 8 Praharas, and 1 fortnight is 15 days. In 1 month, we have bright fortnight and dark fortnight. And these 15 days will be daytime for the Pitrus, and other 15 days will be daytime for the night time for the Pitrus. And in 1 season, we have 2 months. In 1 ayana, we have 6 months, which is equal to day or night of the Devatas. So in 1 year, we have is equal to 1 day and night for the Devatas. And human lifespan is 100 years. And for the higher beings, the lifespan is calculated in the form of Chaturyugas or Divya Yugas. So this is what we saw today. And the higher details we will see in the next week. So thank you very much. So these are all about time. If somebody is interested, I will mail that the table. Afterwards, you can also see through that. So if devotees have some queries to ask or some things want to share or some doubts to clarify.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad. Amazing class, Prabhuji, first of all. Actually, ideally, this should be taught in schools, you know. Yeah, Prabhuji, I have 2 questions. One is, Prabhuji, when we are talking about the sun as a reference, this sun is referring from this particular universe where we.
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, in one universe, there are many galaxies. In many galaxies, there are many solar systems. In one of the solar system, we are staying where sun is there. So which sun are we referring to?
For your information, though the scientists may call so many galaxies, so many Milky Ways, so many nebula, this, that, within our universe, there is only one sun.
Okay.
Within our universe, we only have 9 planets. I think one of the verses we just mentioned about all these things. I will come back to that verse once. Just wait. Yeah, 2 verses before that. Samvatsara, Parivasara. Yeah, Graha. In our universe, whatever that we see in the night, they are nothing but the combination of these 4 things. We only have 9
Okay.
planets in our ether within our universe, and we only have 27 nakshatras, and we only have 12 rashis, 12 rashis, that Mesha, Vrishabha, etc. 12 zodiac signs, and we have so many taras. All the remaining things that we see in the entire sky, they are called tara or tarakas. When most of the tarakas are seen together, the modern scientists call them as the Milky Way, galaxy, nebula, etc. They might give so many names. They might say that in every Milky Way, every galaxy, there is another solar system, there is another sun, there is another Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, etc. But not so. Bhagavatam is pretty clear.
Okay.
It talks about there is only one solar system in one universe, that is in our universe. We may see unlimited number of stars, unlimited number of tarakas. Whatever we see other than them, they are all tarakas, in the
Okay.
category of tarakas.
Okay.
So the sun which is being talked about in the Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, or any Vedas, any Puranas, anything, any Vedic literature, they are all referring to one sun whom we see early in the morning as rising and throughout the day
Okay.
in the evening.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, bro. Prabhuji, my second question was, Prabhuji, you spoke about Pitru, right?
Pitru.
So when we talk about Pitru, what exactly these Pitrus are? Like, if you call them as an ancestors, but my grandfather would be my grandfather in this particular life. But
No.
since he's
Wait. See, if you remember the previous class, we discussed about the creation of 8 kinds of species, 8 kinds of superhuman beings.
Yes.
I call them
Okay.
superhuman beings, but they are called by the chapter as Devatas. So here I have opened that verse also. So here the 8 kinds of Deva Sargas, 8 kinds of Devata creations are being mentioned. So one is Vibhuda, the main Devatas. Second one is Pitaro, the Pitrus. Third one is Asura. The fourth one is Gandharva Apsara. The fifth one is Siddhas. The seventh one is Yaksha Raksha. And the eighth one is Charana, etc. Bhuta Preta Pishasha, like that they are mentioned. So Pitaro
Okay.
is also one category of Devatas. They
Okay.
are not necessarily our forefathers. After death they will become Pitrus. Not like that. If our
Okay.
forefathers are pious, after death they can go to Pitruloka. And when they go to
Okay.
Pitruloka, they will be called as Pitrus from that sense, because as long as we are living in India, we are called Indians. If you are born
Okay.
and living in America, you are called American.
Okay.
If you are born and grown up in China, you are called a Chinese. Like that,
Okay.
after death, when a person takes birth in Pitruloka, they will be called as Pitru. But before birth, that person was living in the
Okay.
human loka as a human being. So Pitrus are the Devatas
Okay.
name. Just like a person after death, people, we generally in India we call them as Sargavas ho gaya, unka Sargavas ho gaya, Sargapapti ho gaya,
Okay.
Sargavas ho gaya. Matlab, they have gone to Sarga. When they go to Sarga,
Okay.
they are called as Devatas.
Okay.
Because they are living along with the Devatas, they will be called as Devatas. Similarly, when somebody passes away in somebody's pious family, they may go to Pitruloka and they will be called as Pitrus. But Pitrus by
Okay.
nature, there are main Devatas in Pitruloka. The actual Devatas who live there for long time.
Okay.
Like that. Just like Devatas are there, the Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu will be there in the Swarga for long time. But some people who are died in the battlefield, they may go to Swarga. They may also become residents of
Okay.
Swarga. That kind of understanding should be there.
So Prabhuji, how am I connected to my Pitrus? Like, I'm not able to understand that thing. Because often we keep speaking Pitru, you know.
अभी कोई तो गया
Pitru
होगा ना.
dosh or
If somebody must have gone in your family to see Pitru dosha is not because of Pitru. The dosha is actually because of Preta.
okay.
So when a person dies, the Atma along with the subtle body, it is called Preta. The technical name in the Vedic literature is called Preta. If
Okay.
that Preta gets a next body, then that personality is called with that next body. If that preta enters into animal, it is the person will be called as animal. Enters into devata body, it will sargaloka called as devata. Enters into
Okay.
pitruloka will be called as pitru devata, etc., etc. If they don't get any body,
Okay.
they will remain as preta. So they will
Okay.
keep disturbing their family members, because it is the responsibility of the family members to deliver the ancestors, the
Okay.
forefathers, from wherever they are. If they
Okay.
have not got any other gross body, by offering Shraddha they will be delivered. If they are not delivered, they will be causing difficulties in the family. That is called Pitru dosha.
Okay.
For example, if they are in the heaven, if they are in the hellish planets, in order to deliver them from hell, the Shraddha should be offered in the proper bona fide way. They will be delivered from
Okay.
hell. If they
Okay.
have gone to Pitruloka by good fortune, in order to extend their tenure, their stay in Pitruloka,
Okay.
the same Shraddha will be offered, so that their stay in Pitruloka will be extended.
Okay.
Just like some of your relative might have gone to America with 6 months visa, and at the end of 6 months, instead of he coming directly here, he will request you to go to embassy, and on his
Okay.
behalf, you extend his visa time permit.
Okay.
So under 6 months, he can stay in America. So like that,
Okay.
Shraddha works on
Okay, Prabhuji.
yeah, Shraddha works on 3 levels.
And Prabhuji, what is the qualification to go down to Pitruloka?
Go to Pitruloka, not down, go up.
What is the qualification?
You have to perform.
How does a person goes to?
I mean, that I don't know. That prescriptions are there. See, good. In order to go to Golok Vrindavan, what is the procedure? What is the prescription?
Bhakti.
Same
Bhakti.
way, in order to go to Pitruloka, we need to follow so many rituals of Nishkama Karma Yoga. So with those rituals, one
Okay.
can go to Pitruloka.
Okay.
Details I don't know, but there will be procedures in the Vedas.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, when one Truti is equal to 8 upon 13,500 second,
Yes.
so minutely they have calculated in that much time difference also, even 8 upon 13,500 seconds difference so minutely. But then why there is a difference for the Muhurta, whether it is 48 minutes or 60? Why there is so much gross difference? Somewhere it is said 48 minutes, somewhere it is says, now you are telling 60 minutes also.
So that's why Prabhupada actually does not mention that. So in the time scale, Murta he removes, because this is a controversial thing. So after Danda, he directly goes to Prahara. He mentioned
Yeah.
about 30 minutes, then there should be 60 minutes thing. He does not talk about that, directly goes to Prahara, which is equal to 3 hours. Because this is a little controversy, there is no direct explanation why they are, why Maitreya Muni talking about Murta here like this. So Prabhupada does not give any explanation. So in that way, I don't have any explanation.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, Radha Gopinath Prabhuji said in one of his lectures that to understand Madhurya, we have to first understand the Aishwarya of the Lord. So, what we are learning in the previous chapter about the creation, or in this chapter about the time and all, which is very complex. So, I just want to know whether what we are understanding in this is for Madhurya, or how it is helpful in our bhakti process.
See, Mataji, forget about Madhurya, Aishwarya. In order to live
Yeah.
in this world, we need to know basic things. Just because these things are not in use in our daily life, we are familiar with minutes, seconds, and hours. Do you agree?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if a person who does not understand what is minute, what is second, what is hour, how do you call him? He's a mentally distorted person or insane man,
Yeah.
like that. A mad person, like that we call.
Yeah.
So this knowledge is as simple as that. This knowledge, though the names are in different way, if we were taught only these things in our school days, we might have been familiar with these numbers. Since we were not taught, we don't know. We were taught about the seconds, minutes, etc., etc. Like 1 hour is divided to 60 parts, they are called 1 minute. 1 minute is divided to further 60 parts, that is called 1 second. That is divided into 1000, that is called 1 millisecond. Like that, we know. We have read all these things, we understand, we use them. So they have become our practical things. So these things are simple, same practical. In the schools, we read about Big Bang theory. In the schools, we read about theory of evolution, Darwin's theory, origin of species, And with the schools we have talked, we have heard about heliocentric model, geocentric model, etc., etc. And we have accepted them as all in all. And
Yeah.
we understand them. We also teach to our children, and they teach to their children. Like that, things will go on. And just because
Yeah.
we have not read the things that are mentioned in the Bhagavatam, like Sushilila in the previous chapters and the current time divisions, etc., etc., the creation of Brahma in the previous chapter, in the next chapter, in the 12th chapter also, just because we don't read them in the school text, that doesn't mean that they're out of syllabus. So they need to know. These are only for our practical understanding. In order to know the world in which we are living, how
Yeah.
this world is created, how this world has started, how the things are happening in this world around us, and how the times are being calculated. This is general knowledge. No need to worry about whether they are helpful for Aishwarya or Madhurya. They are like higher stuffs. No need to worry about all those things. I mean, this is my understanding.
Okay, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, can we take this as his Aishwarya only, because he has, means we are awestruck, means when we see that how minutely everything is calculated, everything, and how much intelligence he had given to the, means to the fraction which we are human beings, and the rishis have calculated, and they are so naturally, this is one of his Aishwarya aspect. Can we take it like that?
Yeah, we can take it like that. Even the same things are also kind of useful for Madhurya also, na? In order to, of course, by studying all these things, we can understand the potency of Supreme Lord, how the Lord's creation is so precise, how the Lord's creation is so imbued with so many details.
That's true.
Because all these things
That's
indicate
what
Lord's greatness. So we can, it could be like direct manifestation of Lord of Aishwarya. We can take it like that. Not a problem. There is no problem. But my way of
Prabhuji, can
for our daily practical usage also, these
Prabhuji,
things are very necessary. In that way, I'm saying.
Prabhuji, can I add something to this thing? What you just told?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, I think so. Whether we understand Krishna's Aishwarya or not, but this is surely Prabhupadaji's Aishwarya, that he is able to make things. It's beyond my this thing. Like how he could, write these granthas and scriptures so nicely. So it is definitely Prabhupadaji's Aishwarya.
So that all of us can read.
Yeah, all of us can read, and through this we can definitely. Yes, yes. So this is purely empowered soul, Prabhupadaji. Who can, with our complex things, we cannot, understand. But Prabhupadaji has made it. So with his Aishwarya, we can definitely understand the Madhurya, what he is carrying in his heart.
True.
Okay. Thank you for
Thank Hari Bol, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam.
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask you one or two things. One is, about these days in both in chemistry and physics, they talk in terms of nanochemistry and nanophysics, which goes into the range of 10 raised to minus 9 seconds and all that, or picoseconds. So is there any such indication in our Shastra about these things? Because there is a definite branch of science called nanochemistry, where they talk in terms of 10 raised to minus 9 level or pico level. So I wanted to ask you whether there is any such indication in our Shastra about such thing.
At least I did not read other Shastras, but whole Bhagavatam does not get into more details more than Paramanu, Prabhuji. So maybe those scriptures which are talking about Vaisheshika, the Vaisheshika philosophy, wherein they describe the entire universe is made up of all the small particles, small anus, etc., etc. There we may get some more information. I don't know. Maybe some Shruti, some Vedas might talk about some more little further information. But at least in Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam, they come to the extent of Paramanu. They don't go down below Paramanu. At least that much I can tell, because I kind of whatever way I could read, I read. Other books I don't know, and I cannot comment upon them.
And I also wanted to ask you about these Kim Purushas. Are they also in the category of Devatas, or are they also empowered people?
Yes, Prabhu. They are all empowered beings. They are all super human beings. So, for example, one example of Kim Purushas are all the monkeys that assisted Lord Ram.
Lord Ram, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, in one way, see, they are much superior to our human beings in physical strength, in their ability to perform Herculean tasks, etc., etc. So it is because of those monkeys that Ram Setu could have been built. Otherwise, the human beings could not have built that entire
Yeah.
Ram Setu. Even the human beings of Treta Yuga also.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Kim Purushas.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one more question, just small. Prabhuji, you said the different 6 philosophies of Indian philosophy, Hindu philosophy: Gautama, Nyaya, Kanaka, Vaisheshika, Jaimini, Mimamsa, Patanjali Yoga, Kapila, Sankhya, and Vedanta is Vyasa, Prabhuji?
Yes, Vedanta is Vyasa.
Okay, thank you.
These are the 6 systems of philosophy.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, for practical purposes, right now we are in Kali Yuga, right?
Yes.
So we generally hear that Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years back. So
Yes.
that was the Treta Yuga.
No, that was Dwapara Yuga.
Dwapar Yuga. Sorry, Dwapar Yuga.
Ah.
So we are in that first 100 that you mentioned. You know, the
Yes. The
Sandhya.
first Yuga Sandhya. The first Sandhi.
Yuga.
First Sandhi.
So
Yeah.
we are only in the first Sandhi right now.
Yes.
Okay, so now the whole of the Kali Yuga is still there to go through.
Yeah. Kali Yuga will last for 4,32,000 years.
Correct. So that Kali Yuga itself is so big.
So big.
4,27,000 remaining.
Yeah, that much remaining.
And when we hear, you know, our parents or grandparents talking that, you know, Kali Yuga is going to be very bad and everything, of course they have heard. So if this is bad, then what worse could it be after 43 lakh years? So
Yeah.
it is scary. It is really scary.
Yeah, that it will become that scary. Yeah, obviously.
It is already scary, Prabhuji. What more?
But one thing is, we have to understand that though nowadays it appears to be very rampantly degrading, this is always cyclic. It goes down and then suddenly it again rises up. The whole atmosphere will change. Generally, little understanding which I hear from our senior devotees is that whenever there is a powerful acharya appears, by the presence of that powerful acharya, the entire atmosphere will change. And suddenly the mode of goodness will increase and people become sattvic for some time. Then by the effect of time, again things will down. They go downward. And then again by the appearance of a powerful acharya, again they increase, sattva-guna increase. Like that. Then now and then such kind of things will change, will take place.
It will be a yo-yo effect all the time. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think devotees are done with all their queries. It is 9:20 plus. So thank you very much for joining us to this class. It may appear to be a little technical, but it is not so technical. They are simple subject matter. We are familiar with hours, minutes, and these are some other names. That's all, nothing much. But having a overview of these details would be a good, the Vedic way of calculating things. So in that way, we are discussing all these things. So thank you very much. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yay.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Bhuvaneshwar Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.